Thanks for watching Mid-Morning this Tuesday. Governor Mark Dayton has ordered flags to fly at half staff today to mark the 10-year anniversary of the 35W bridge collapse.
This afternoon, city leaders will pay tribute to the victims, to the survivors and first responders at a ceremony. So many lives touched by this. The new 35W bridge will also go dark tonight. The lights on the 35W bridge underneath to mark that anniversary.
We're following a very serious story right now. Just a few moments ago, we found out there was a bridge collapse in Minneapolis. Apparently, on University Avenue and 35W, it appears the bridge that goes over 35W has collapsed. We understand there are several people and cars in the water, and the people are injured. I understand WCCO's Jason DeRusha has just arrived on the scene. Do we have Jason on the line?
Yeah, Frank, I just got here. The scene is pretty unbelievable. I'm looking at a huge fire. It appears a tractor trailer is on fire here where this part of the bridge collapsed. Looks like the bridge has collapsed both in the northbound and the southbound lanes, and it looks like just a total failure of the bridge.
And it is massive destruction. The whole 35W, both going north and south, has collapsed from East River Road all the way across the river and onto the other side.
And here we're taking a first look from above. As you can see, that, wow, that just collapsed right into the river.
Did you see it go down, or you?
No, I heard the noise and sirens started screaming away, and I stopped, and I was down there, and then that's when the truck started to burn. You can see the black smoke.
The truck driver died. This was one of the first things I saw as I arrived on that scene at about 6:20. 10 years ago tonight, police officers carrying people up from the river, just people who had fallen into the river, rescuing other folks down in there. Until we saw that overhead, you heard Amelia react to it. It's the way all of us did. That overhead helicopter shot really told the story. 13 lives lost, which I, to this day, am stunned that it wasn't more than 100. I think on the scene that day, that's what we expected. But it turned out to be, and certainly not to minimize those 13 lives. There were construction workers, the truck driver, just people driving home to their family.
Children on the school bus?
None of the children were killed,
right.
But yeah, injured for sure, more than 100 people injured. But because people weren't going at highway speeds, because it was a construction zone and people were driving fairly slowly, a lot of those cars rode the bridge down into the water. And so that prevented the cars from slamming into each other in the air, which would have certainly been more catastrophic.
So how do you first hear about this, and then what happens?
So I'm in the newsroom that night. The story I was assigned to cover wasn't coming together. Yeah. It was one of those nights at work.
Sometimes, yeah.
And so you're sitting waiting for something to happen, and I was sitting, I don't know, 20 feet from where I am right now, and we heard the scanner call come in, and our assignment editor was vocal about it. And we didn't know, just like the dispatchers on the original call weren't quite sure. Was it the 10th Avenue Bridge?
Right.
Was it? 35W was not a bridge that was noteworthy to anybody in Minnesota. It didn't look like anything. You didn't really see the river. It just was part of the highway.
And it wasn't all that old either, right?
No, it wasn't anything that you would have thought. It was just part of the highway. When the interstate was built, that was built.
And when you hear a bridge collapse, you could never have fathomed what actually happened.
Absolutely not. You thought maybe like a large sinkhole, maybe part of the bridge failed. But when we got there, you could see that angle and where you saw the truck and the bus and a couple of cars. And it was pretty clear right away it was bad.
And you got the information right away that this had happened. Given our proximity of WCCO right downtown near the bridge, you were one of the first to get on scene, even before the emergency personnel.
Yeah, you kind of could hear in that phone report I did initially, you hear the sirens, and those are coming behind us. So when we first arrived, it was mostly just people coming up from the river, not a ton of law enforcement.
We've talked about this quite a bit in the last couple of days, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but one thing that struck me that you told me is obviously you feel for the families, obviously you feel for the first responders.
For sure.
But for days after this, you were just going back to the site.
Yeah, I worked at night here, and I would stop at the bridge every day. I just wanted to connect with it. I thought it was so important to see it, to think about it. And I was definitely, you know, in the way a first responder might be traumatized. Like I very much, and I still feel very much affected by that story. It when I talk about it in front of groups, I choke up, and it's a story. It just was so astonishing that that could happen in Minnesota, that could happen in America. It was just still as astonishing.
Yeah, still seeing those overhead shots are incredible.